This week we're sharing warm holiday wishes with whimsical winter mittens and a soft snowfall. The color palette for this project is free as always. Just tap on the link in the video description and you can download and install it. I'm going to start by creating a brand new canvas. I've listed my specs on screen and let's begin. This week's tutorial is brought to you by Envato Elements, which is kind of like the Netflix of graphic design. They have tens of thousands of resources available to artists, including stock photos, presentation templates, audio tracks, logos, fonts, and my favorite, Procreate brushes. We're actually going to be using a set from their library for this week's tutorial, and they've generously offered every Tuesday subscribers with a 70% off coupon, which makes it less than $10 a month to try out. It's limited time though, so tap on the link in the video description to grab your coupon, and let's go download our brushes. We're going to start by downloading the brushes that we'll use for this project. So once you're logged into Envato Elements, up here, I'm just going to type in Procreate Pencil. And it's the very first one that appears. This is the set that we'll be using, so it's the Procreate pencil brushes. So download these and then I'll meet you in Procreate. Okay, I've got my brand new canvas in Procreate and I've got those brushes loaded in. Whenever you download any new brush set, it'll appear at the very top of all of your brush categories in your brush library. So if you scroll all the way to the top, there's the pencil brushes. So we're going to start by using pencil 14 for our hand lettering, and I'm going to set the background color to our canvas. So just come to your layers, tap on background color, and choose the very first color, and there we go. Then return back to your colors and choose the white, and we're going to write out warm wishes. Once you have your hand lettering, let's center it up. I need to straighten mine a little bit too. Okay, I've got it centered on my canvas. Next, we're going to draw our mittens. So create a brand new layer. We're going to switch to the second color and we're just going to draw one mitten. So I'm kind of drawing like an upside down teardrop shape, but then stopping it short, coloring that in. I'm still using the same brush and then putting in the little thumb, and then make all of this just a little bit longer, and then switch to white. Paint in the bottom part of the mitten, little extra details. I'm going to reduce the size of my brush now down to like 5% and draw a really simple snowflake here. And then switch back to that red color and just put some lines at the bottom to make it look more like a mitten. And now I've got a mitten, so I'm going to position this kind of at an angle up here, right up near this first W, and then I'm going to duplicate my mitten, select it, flip it horizontally, and move it down here towards the S, and rotate it a little bit more right there. So the thumb kind of goes into the S. Okay, next I'm going to add in the string to these mittens, and these are going to kind of be like flourishes, and I'm going to put them on a brand new layer. So create a brand new layer. I've got my pink color selected for these. I'm still using the exact same brush, the pencil 14 that we've been using, and the size of my brush is about 8%. So this first one is going to loop up here, loop downwards, and then connect to this mitten. And I'm holding the Apple pencil towards the top. I'm not holding it down here near the grip. That way it's nice and loose and I'll get smoother curves. And you can see that because this layer is on top of the mittens, it's showing up on top of the mittens. So let's move this underneath both mittens. And I'm going to create another layer to put my second string on. That way I can move them independently if I need to. And for the second string, this one's just going to come down here, do a really big loop underneath the lettering, and then another loop off. And now all we have left to do is to fill this with snow. So I'm going to create a brand new layer, drag it all the way down so it's right above the background color layer. And I'm going to switch my brush to the pencil 1 brush up at the very top and change my color to the white. And I'm going to vary up the size of these. They kind of look like snowballs floating in the air, but they're really soft. So I'm going to vary up the size of these as I come around and just fill the whole background. I'm going to bring the size down a bit to 2%. That way I can draw some really small ones and still have the ability to draw some big ones too. So I'm going to draw my small ones in, and then I'll increase my brush size and draw some of the larger ones. So I get some really nice variety to make the background feel a little more dynamic. And if you want to make it look even more dynamic, choose a few of the snow balls or flakes, I guess, floating down, and just paint over them to brighten them up a little bit. So it'll make it seem like they're more in the foreground than the other ones. And you can create an instant sense of depth that way. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you next week.